Several years ago, I believe I was doing a lecture in Denver. It was quite a few years ago now. But anyway, it was another politically volatile time. We seem to have those a lot, don't we? It's, I guess, the gift of democracy. It's good insofar as it gets people to think. And I don't know what each of your perspectives is. I guess I could attune to it, but I don't want to do that right now. Let me give you mine. It used to be, I think, that people were more open-minded. They could listen to an idea they hadn't thought of previously without getting all activated, without getting polarized, without feeling animosity to the person that was telling them something different than what they wanted to hear. But if you look at what goes on nowadays, what you see is people continually want to hear what they think they already believe because they call that truth, but it may not be. Now, one of the things that you must always pay attention to is that truth has levels. And truth, there are what I will call apparent truths. And these are the truths you experience that give you a way to participate in the conventional reality, in the phenomenal realm. But these truths change. For example, you'll see an 18-month-old child or maybe a 2-year-old child, and you describe them as a toddler. And that is apparently true. What you're not addressing is the bigger truth of who they really are. Perhaps there is a wise sage in there, and with careful guidance from the parents, that sage will evolve and eventually come out. And part of it is the person themselves as well. Each person, even beginning at a very early age, feels called to certain things. And by that I mean their attention moves toward it. And you have to understand this about the mind. Wherever attention goes, creative energy follows. Now, this is really interesting because in this lecture in Denver, it was a political time again. And I think there were some folks trying to have me tell them who they should vote for, and I don't usually do that. Because it's a right and a privilege that you have to express what seems true and accurate to you. But a question came up about the political nature of things. And I said, well, my dear friends, you all think that you have come to your position, whatever it is, through having an open mind, having encountered a lot of ideas, and having made your own decision. I said, but from my seat in the spiritual bleachers, it looks to me like all of you who are in the more liberal side came in with the karma to be more liberal. You're not all the same. Likewise, those who came in and espoused a position on the more conservative side of the spectrum had the karma to see in that way. Now, what does that mean? Perhaps it meant, could have meant, in some cases it does mean, that as you came into a family, you found a family that held the same kind of value system that you would espouse or you would take on. And thus, you heard it all your life, you became one with it, seemed like a good idea, and now you identify yourself as the more the left or more to the right. And it seems like you figured that out all on your own. But most people do not. Most people are just playing out their karmic imprints as it applies to the political realm. Well, as I said, it was a different world at that time because people could have opposing beliefs, sit in the same room, talk about it, and people would honestly say things like, you know, I never thought about it that way. You hardly see that at all nowadays. The karma is so strong that many people have sort of substituted their political energy, let's say, for their spiritual place. In other words, just like you choose to be in spiritual community with people who have similar belief structures as you, because you can talk easily, or because you share the same hopes and the same, maybe the same desire for enlightenment or for merging with the divine. And because that's similar, you see, you can talk about it. It doesn't mean you necessarily rule anybody out.